Hey everybody, how you doing? This is James from Wix1.com, Wix1.com, all things mobile. Today we're going to do a soft unboxing and review for the iPhone 6S. Alright, here's a new box. It's got a picture on the front. I don't remember seeing a picture like this before. And there it says iPhone 6S on the side, Apple logo. Let's take a look. Put the phone to the side here. Inside the box, usual stuff. USB, lightning connector. Pretty long. So for some reason I feel like the cable itself is a little thicker or just a little bit better quality than the usual ones. Could be my imagination, but it seems like a better quality cable. Charging block, usual guy. Earbuds. These earbuds are actually pretty good. I've used them many times, and for music, they really do sound quite nice in your ear. When a phone call comes in and you're going to use the speaker part, it's not as good, like, for the microphone, but as far as listening to music for, really good. Good bass, good mid, quite nice. Inside this guy here, usual stuff, helpful how-tos, and the handy-dandy SIM key. That's pretty much all there is in here. Let's take a look at the phone. This is the iPhone 6S. It looks identical to the iPhone 6, but it's actually heavier. It's made of more premium materials, I believe. It is a little bit heavier. Feels actually quite premium. You feel like you got something that you want to keep because you spend money, right? Not that you haven't spent money in the past, but this feels like something that you really got for the money. On the back of the phone, this is a 12 megapixel camera. It takes photos and videos. It goes up to 4K video. It's quite nice. On the front, it's a 5 megapixel camera. And it has a flash. The screen becomes a flash. On the back, it's just a duotone flash. When you look at the phone, it looks virtually identical to the iPhone 6, but it's the internals and the components and the quality of the chassis has been greatly improved. iPhone 6S. Let's see. New things. This device comes with a new technology, not new to the world, but new to the iPhone, called Force Touch, or rebranded as 3D Touch by Apple. Basically what it does is you push down on the screen until you feel a click, and then it pops up a window. I find it actually quite nice. I like it, and I will use it. I find it functional and useful. When there's information that you want to see or not necessarily want to go all the way into the app, you just want to get like a peek. Apple has this language that they're using called peek and pop. In my opinion, it should be more like peek and click, because when you push down, you get a click. You don't get a pop, right? So that's the way I see it. So basically, you just push down until you get a click, and then something pops up. So here, let me go down here and I will find something I can do. So, alright. So I'll do it on one of the contacts. In this case, it'll be Apple. There we go. See how that window popped up? That's how it looks when you're using the click and peek or click and pop, whichever you like best. But honestly, in my opinion, it's more of a click than a pop, and I don't know what the pop is for. So you're probably going to want to experiment with that a little bit. It's not the same as pushing down and having the icons move around. You actually have to feel something because there's a taptic engine in here that allows for you to feel that you've actually clicked on something. So don't think that you just have to push it lightly and then it happens. It doesn't. You actually have to feel it, a taptic feel as you push to click for the menu to pop up. So some other stuff that's new, I guess, which was disabled in the previous version. Let's see if we can get back to this. Okay, so if you go over here to the left without any troubles here. Okay, there we go. You get these previously used icons and some news now. You didn't get that before. It's something new. You can turn it off and on inside of settings, and if you go to general and you go to something called Spotlight Search, there's an option called Siri Suggestions. You can turn it off right there. When I first got it, the first thing I wanted to do is turn it off. But after I played with it for a bit, I got used to it. So now I keep it on, but it's not really all that useful. At least not for me. It might be useful for you. So this device, like I said before, it is a little bit heavier, and you feel like you paid money for something, and you feel like you got something. It's made of more premium materials. The chassis is stronger. I find that the glass is not as susceptible to the fingerprints and the oil as the previous version on the iPhone 6. For something has changed. I'm not sure what, and they haven't mentioned anything, but I find it a better product. So that's something to note. I have taken video with this. It goes up to 4K video and photos. The front camera is much improved. It's a 5 megapixel camera in the front and a 12 in the back, right? I took video with the front and it was really quite nice. I've yet to do any serious things with the back yet because it's kind of inconvenient. You can't see what you're doing. You need what if somebody could invent something that would have a menu pop up or something that would allow you to use the rear camera in a reverse mode. So you're looking at the front or something, or some kind of a mechanism that will allow you to see where you're angling your video, because otherwise you don't know what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? So if you put this in a tripod and you're trying to take a picture or something like that, or you're trying to do a video and you want to use the quality of your back camera, it's really hard. So you probably want to use the front camera for most of those things because the back is just too hard being away from it. And then you're not using the full quality of the device. So that's kind of a problem too. So yeah, I think it would be great if we had an extra menu or something that would allow us to use the back camera from the front screen. There may be something like that already, but I've yet to see one. Other things about the iPhone 6s is that, you know, when you're on Wi-Fi, because I really thought I should mention this, there is an issue. There is this feature in here called Wi-Fi Assist, and I understand that it's trying to be convenient, but it kind of fails because what happens is this Wi-Fi assist is supposed to automatically use cellular data when the Wi-Fi connectivity is poor. Let's think about that for a minute. You're using Wi-Fi because you don't have too much money. Now, you don't want to start using your cellular data, which will cost you money when the Wi-Fi is slow. The job of this Wi-Fi assist is to kick in cellular data, as in LTE, when the Wi-Fi is slower. So you would be on, say, YouTube or some other place watching videos all day, and if it was slow, then this thing would start kicking in and start using your data plan. You don't want that because it's going to start running up your bill as soon as it reaches your cap. And you're going to want to turn that off. I'll show you how to get to it. You're going to go to settings. You're going to go to cellular. You go to the bottom of the page, all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see Wi-Fi assist. Turn that thing off. Save your money. You really don't want that. I think it's a bad idea. It's a bad feature. It was a bad idea. As far as the photos you can take with this phone, they're at least 10 times better than the iPhone 6. The quality is rich and it's nice. The videos are sharp and clean. The audio is pretty good too. The signal's been alright. I've not had any issues. There are plenty of other features in the system here that you can't see. I know that the Force Touch is inside, so it made this a little bit heavier, more premium feeling. But the device itself is virtually unchanged as far as the way it looks to the normal user. The only difference that actually exists is that this is 2 millimeters thicker and 2 millimeters longer. Other than that, it looks like the same phone as the iPhone 6. So this is the iPhone 6s. It's a good device. It's a little bit more expensive than the previous version. It comes in 16 gig, 64, and 128. If you're in Canada, it's most likely going to be at least a couple $100 more money. I know in the US they have payment plans now that Apple has introduced, which is quite nice. It's a nice addition to the way you will use your devices or upgrade to them in the future. The iPhone 6s is a quality premium device, in my opinion, and I believe that it's worth the money, especially if you're coming from something like 5s. It'll be a night and day difference, I'm telling you right now. This is a premium quality device. Probably the best iPhone they've ever created. The previous version was a good iPhone. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the cameras are a little lacking and somewhat pixelated, I found over time. If you didn't have a lot of good light with the iPhone 6, you would find out that some of your stuff may be grainy, and I know that most people don't want that. If you're in decent light, you'll be fine. But this one here is at least 10-fold quality of camera and video. It does 4K video, it does regular video, and it has plenty of other interesting options that are available within the system. Just make sure to turn off that Wi-Fi assist and your life will be much better. iPhone 6s, Wix1.com, all things mobile.